I think we're stuck with him. I think we give him one more chance. If he screws this up, he has, let's just say, a couple months. The next, like, 3 to 4 months as speaker, this is it for him. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back with a new video, and I hope everyone is having a great day. I'm having a great day myself. And before we get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. These are all great ways to support the daily content, but enough of the promotional stuff. Let's get into it because we have breaking news as Donald Trump has just endorsed Speaker Mike Johnson in the speakership race. Yeah, that's right. After weeks of speculation as to will Trump endorse Johnson? Will he support someone else? Will he say anything about the speakership battle? Well, we just got our answer. Yes. Despite all the rumors, despite all the speculation, Donald Trump just endorsed Speaker Mike Johnson in the speakership race. And I know a lot of people are unhappy. Some people thought that he was done with Johnson. Some people thought he was going to support someone else. There was a lot of rumors circulating after the recent CR disaster that maybe Trump was done with Johnson, but no. Donald Trump just announced that, yes, he supports Mike Johnson in the speakership race. So let's get into it. President-elect Donald Trump said on Monday that Speaker Mike Johnson is his complete and total endorsement, a major boost for the top House Republican ahead of a critical vote this week. Now, like I said, there was a lot of speculation. We did not know for sure that he was going to back him, but I think most people thought more than likely, yeah, Trump was going to back Mike Johnson. Now, was he unhappy with the CR stuff? Absolutely. He was furious about, especially the debt ceiling stuff. He was not happy whatsoever. But I still found it very unlikely that he would not support Johnson. Like, outside of some of the crap that Johnson did with the CR stuff, has he really antagonized Trump ever? I'm being honest, I cannot think of a single time that Mike Johnson ever went after Trump for anything. So I know Mike Johnson has not been the best on the issues, but this is Trump we're talking about. Like, if you're loyal to Trump and you don't say bad stuff about him, you're usually on his good side. Now, sometimes that's not the case, but a good chunk of the time, Trump cares so much about loyalty that he will look past some of the stuff that Johnson did and say, well, I still support him because he's been loyal. He hasn't backstabbed me yet. So I don't see the problem with Johnson as of now. And I know people are mad about this. I'm kind of iffy on the whole thing. Like, Mike Johnson has been a disappointment. I think it's clear as day, it's been a big, fat disappointment. Has he been a complete, like, oh, he's an F-tier speaker? No. But at the same time, has he been good? No, not really. What, is he slightly better than McCarthy? Yeah, I guess. But when you add it all up, Johnson really has not been that big of an upgrade over McCarthy. I still don't think it was worth it because McCarthy was useless. But Mike Johnson has not been this S-tier speaker, not even like a B-tier speaker. At best, it's been like a D+, maybe a D. It's like, yeah, better than McCarthy, which was like a D- or an F, but that's not really saying much. Trump's endorsement comes as some House conservatives have warned they are not committed to backing Johnson in the speakership race. The president-elect's endorsement could help Johnson lock down the votes he will need, especially after he had navigated a chaotic government funding fight earlier this month that drew the ire of some members of his right flank. And this is the theory that, oh, if Trump backs Johnson, this should mean that he doesn't have to worry about the speakership fight and he's being elected the first ballot. Well, that's not the case. In fact, despite Trump backing Johnson here, I still have my doubts that Johnson will even be elected in the first round. Now, that doesn't mean that Johnson will not be the speaker. It just means that right now, more than likely, Mike Johnson is not going to make it through the first round. That means he's not getting the votes on the first round of voting. And the reason I say this is, well, we already have a Republican saying, no matter what Trump says, he will oppose Johnson. Thomas Massie. Now, I want to be clear that I don't have anything against Massie himself. I think Thomas Massie, the problem with him is he's a libertarian and he's too consistent. I know that seems kind of funny, like, wait, he's too consistent, that's why you don't like him? Listen, I'm fine with Massie. I think he's a great guy, and on a lot of the issues, he's damn good on them. But the problem is, well, Thomas Massey's record is so consistently libertarian that some of his votes and decisions, they're not good. And, well, Thomas Massey put out this statement saying he will not support Mike Johnson. And he basically said that Mike Johnson would be Paul Ryan 2.0 in Trump's second term. I disagree with this. I think Mike Johnson is way better than Kevin McCarthy, let alone way better than Paul Ryan. Does that mean Johnson's perfect? Of course not. It just means that Johnson more than likely is going to be better than those other two. I mean, McCarthy was a scumbag, and Paul Ryan had no clue what the hell he was doing. I mean, he screwed Trump over badly his first 2 years. He got nothing accomplished except the tax cuts, and that's it. It was so bad that he screwed Trump over on the healthcare plan. If it wasn't for that, there's an argument to be made that 2018 would not have been such a big blue wave if it wasn't for Paul Ryan being absolutely worthless. But now, you got Mike Johnson here who, again, most people, including myself, are disappointed with him. We're not the biggest fan of what Mike Johnson has done. But let's have a reality check. Of every single Republican in the House, how many of them can get the votes? This is the biggest problem with this whole scenario, like with what Massey's trying to do. I understand what his reasoning is. It's way better than Chip Roy. I mean, Chip Roy is doing this because he hates Trump. Thomas Massey at least has a reason. I have some disagreements with it, but at least he has a reason, a legitimate policy reason for opposing Johnson. But the problem is, who of any Republican in the House can get the votes? And that's where this becomes an even bigger problem for Thomas Massey, for Sparks, for Chip Roy. No one else can get the votes. I'm being honest, I cannot think of a single person outside of one, maybe two people in the House. And Mike Johnson's like the third best option just because, at least on paper, just for the simple fact that he's at like, I don't know, 216 votes in the House right now. No other Republican except two of them could get anywhere near the support needed to become Speaker. And that's the biggest problem in the reality of having what? A 2-3 seat majority? You don't got the votes to spare with Thomas Massey voting for whoever. Victoria Sparks, same deal. A few others pulling their crap. So you start doing the math and you realize, wait, Mike Johnson, you may not like him, but I still think he's the only one that can get votes. The votes needed to become Speaker. Because outside of that, there's only two good options you can really look at that have some kind of pathway. And that's Byron Donalds and Kevin Hern. But I don't think Kevin Hern's going to run. And Byron Donalds, he wants to run for governor of Florida. So those are the only two that are good that I think could get the support, but that's not even a guarantee. So now it's like, okay, you got Mike Johnson, who has not been good, but there's a chance that in a Trump term, he will be way better. Or you run the risk of Don Bacon and a few other bozos pushing forward a garbage coalition with Dems. That almost happened 2 years ago. Now, will that happen now? I don't think so, because Trump is in the White House, but there's still that risk of, oh wait, if we don't get Johnson through, and if Byron Donalds or Kevin Hern don't run, which I don't think they will, well, who else get the votes? And there's a chance that people like Don Bacon, they'll say, oh, Democrats, we'll make a deal. If you promise not to do something terrible, we'll vote for Hakeem Jeffries or something crazy like that. I mean, that's who Don Bacon is. He's a type of Republican to do crap like that. So you have to be careful. I understand that you want to get someone good here. I understand you don't want to waste Trump's final term, but is it really worth starting another speakership fight? I don't know. I really don't know if it's worth it. If you could find a real alternative that could get the votes, which, by the way, they should have spent the last month figuring out, does Johnson have the votes or not? Not just sitting back and doing nothing. You had all this time to figure this out, but for whatever reason, the Republicans did nothing. This majority, we got in quotation, this majority, they did nothing to figure this out. They had all this time to figure out, okay, does Johnson got the votes? If he doesn't, who else do we got? Because now there's a chance we don't have a speaker on January 6th. Which, for those that don't remember, don't know, that's the day of certification for the election. So you don't want to piss around with that. You don't want anything crazy happening on that day, which I don't think it will, but don't run the risk of something crazy happening because you don't got a speaker. Figure this out now. Don't wait till January 3rd at noon. No, figure this out right now. No one leave. No one leaves until they figure out, does Johnson got the votes? And if he doesn't, who else can get the votes? Now, according to CNN, apparently, there are 6 or 7 other members, including Victoria Spartz, who remain wildcards. And if that's the case, yeah, Johnson is not getting the votes the first round. Because Democrats or Republicans have like a 3-seat majority, and they can only afford to lose like 2 or 3 Republicans. So if Victoria Spartz, Thomas Massie, if they already know, you get one more like Chip Roy, it's over. You're not going to get Speaker Johnson. And there's other ones that probably will maybe vote present. They may vote for someone else. So you start doing the math, it's like, yeah, Johnson might have a problem, but I think we're stuck with him. I think we give him one more chance. If he screws this up, he has, let's just say, a couple months. The next, like, 3 to 4 months as Speaker, this is it for him. If he F's this up, he's gone. Come, like, May or something. If he screws this up, he is gone. No more excuses. This is your chance to prove yourself. But give him that chance. If he does his job, I'll take it. If he doesn't, then fine. Get rid of him. Pick like Byron Donalds or like Kevin Hearn or something. Someone decent. Because you cannot run the risk of Don Bacon by some miracle becoming Speaker. Can you imagine that? Don Bacon or like Michael Lawler, who I have nothing against Lawler, but you do not want someone like Lawler or Fitzpatrick or Bacon to be anywhere near the speakership. You want them far away. So we shall see what happens, but this ain't looking good that already there's like 7 Republicans that are like thinking about voting against Johnson, which I don't know how long they're going to hold out for, because if Trump is supporting Johnson actively and saying, you support Johnson or you're gone, I'm assuming some of these Republicans will bail on this idea. But as for Victoria Spartz, Thomas Massie, and especially Chip Soy, who frickin' knows? This could last God knows how long. This could last weeks, months, because you have 3 idiots. Well, not 3 idiots, more like Chip Roy's a dumbass. Thomas Massie has his reasons, which I disagree with it, but at least he has reasons. Victoria Spartz, I have no clue what the hell she's on anymore. I mean, it seems like every day Victoria Spartz changes her entire worldview. But either way, if we get stuck with this majority and we don't got a speaker, I mean, you're going to waste so much time that can be spent on fixing America to get Trump's agenda through ASAP. But I don't know. I still think Mike Johnson will be the speaker. Will it be on round 1? I doubt it. Will it be round 2 or 3? More than likely. But if I had to guess, there's probably going to be like 4 or 5 rounds of voting, and then Johnson gets a vote because Trump says, all right, enough's enough. You either support Johnson or you're gone. Like, Thomas Massie, you have valid reasons, but give him one final chance. If he F's up, he can go. Mike Johnson can go if he F's up one more time, because this is it for him. If he screws up, he has no reason now. They've been arguing, a lot of people have been saying that, oh, Johnson has been bad because they have a small majority, and Democrats control the Senate and control the White House, which is technically true, but either way, there's now no excuses for Johnson. If he really sucks, we're going to know right away. If he screws us over one more time, get him out of here. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.